I'm Jackie Doucette, and I'm on a mission to discover exactly what life is like beyond retirement. Join me while I chat with people who've already done it, who've retired to something rather than from something. Let's find out together exactly what's waiting for us when we say goodbye to that 9 to 5. Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Beyond Retirement. I'm really excited today because I've got Joseph Hogue with me. He's an investment analyst and an online entrepreneur. Joseph, thanks very much for joining me.
Jackie, great being here. I appreciate it. Thank you.
I'm really excited because I know that you had a 9 to 5 type job and you've moved past that onto other things. And while you might be busier, you're happier now. So before we get into the real meat of that kind of thing and what's going on in your world, can you share with the listeners just a quick overview of who you are and what you do on a day-to-day basis?
Sure. Well, I led a pretty traditional life for a lot of my career. Got out of the military and started in corporate finance because, that's what you do. Went to college, got a 9 to 5 job and really hated it. I think I was trying to get into the FIRE movement before the FIRE movement was a thing, right? Trying to work 2 jobs and invest and, have my own rental properties just to save up enough money to retire early. When, I really didn't have an idea of what that meant. I just knew it didn't mean what I was doing right then.
Right.
Well, and then I slowly, after reading about a lot of things and really finding out what I wanted to do in life, then I came to the realization that, I didn't want to just sit on my butt for 30 or 40 or 50 years if I was able to retire early. So I started looking at, growing my own online assets, blogs, eventually my own YouTube channel, which is really what I'm doing now. And kind of transitioning into that, so in 2012, I started freelancing to kind of, build up those online assets and make money while I did that. 2013, I started my own blogs. 2017, I started the YouTube channel, and really around a lot of the things that I was doing at a 9 to 5 job. I'm doing a lot of investment analysis, helping other investors decide on their long-term goals and what they need to get there. But I was doing it for myself. And I love that kind of control that I have over my financial future. It seems, I think so many people, they're working a traditional job that they hate because it feels like anything they do, nothing they do really matters to that company or to its success. Whereas, when you're out there on your own, then everything you do matters. So it's a great feeling of freedom and success when you actually do manage to get there. And yeah, the ironic thing is that I have found that kind of FIRE idea, right? The financially independent kind of retire early. I mean, I'm not working a traditional job, but I work harder now than I ever did at a traditional 9 to 5 job. I mean, I'm doing at least a good 50, 60 hours a week, but I enjoy it. I get to be here at home. So obviously I'm saving on that commute time. I'm with my kids as much as I want. Sometimes more than I want, and I enjoy my job. I enjoy being able to connect to people on a face-to-face level, especially through the YouTube channel.
So you're talking, you've moved from a general or a regular 9 to 5 job to something else. So you're not really retired in the general sense or in the traditional sense of that, but you feel like maybe you're retired because you've left that old lifestyle behind. Is that the idea?
It does, and it's actually, I think it's something I'm going to have to confront eventually because Saturdays, Sundays, I'm thinking about what I do. I do a live stream on Sundays. I'll do a little bit of writing on Saturdays. It is really that hobby job cliche that they talk about. And so eventually I'm going to have to think, okay, I need to do something other than what I do for money, what I do for work. But right now it just feels great being able to do what I enjoy and being successful at it.
And you can choose the hours. I mean, you work 50, 60 hours a week because you want to, not because you have to at this point.
Absolutely. Yep.
So how did you decide what you wanted to get started doing? Obviously, you were interested. You went back to school and you were doing different things, but
Mhm.
finance, how did that just come into your life?
Sure. Well, I've always enjoyed making money, I guess, and really who doesn't? But I got out of the Marine Corps and got a went back to school for finance, and started in corporate accounting, which I kind of thought that was the career path I needed to be on for corporate finance, investments, something like that. And yeah, hated it, hated accounting, but then at one point I did start investing my own money. This was early 2000s. So obviously the real estate boom was just getting started. I started investing in my own rental properties and really kind of grew into that idea, that realization of what I wanted to do as far as investment analysis, investing, and then just taking that to the next level with helping other people. Right. So I worked as a venture capital analyst, setting up sell side research firms for venture capital companies. I've worked in private wealth management with that kind of investment analysis, and really, yeah, just really kind of found that through, I guess, what I liked to do for myself, and then taking that to other people.
So that's where the YouTube kind of came in. You're training people kind of face to face. Well, they're looking at you. You're not really looking at them at the
Sure.
same time. But what drew you to YouTube? I mean, I assume other people might be interested in it for various things, but
Oh,
what brought
definitely.
you?
Yeah. Well, I started with the blogs in 2013, and I did well. I mean, but it's really hard to get any kind of a face-to-face connection, any kind of a connection with people. And I did start the YouTube channel in 2015. Never really had any success on it. Didn't really use YouTube for YouTube's sake as a part of the business in itself. Just kind of to host small videos to put on the blogs. Well, in 2017, I noticed over a couple of days just a huge spike in blog traffic. And what had happened is a YouTuber that was fairly successful. She had mentioned one of my blog posts and linked to it in her video. And
Wow.
and yeah, the traffic just exploded onto the blogs. So I saw that and I'm like, well, maybe this YouTube thing is something, I guess, right? 2017, only about 12 years after YouTube was already huge. I just get the realization there. I clue in, but a little late to the game sometimes, but always always there. So I did December 25th, 2017, because that's the kind of guy I am. Posted some videos on Christmas and got started. And it's just the growth has been exponential. Really, it's an amazing platform for anyone that either wants to reach a community, wants to build a community for that kind of that personality brand. Any company that has a product that wants to reach its customers and build a brand around its product is an amazing platform, and it is that more face-to-face connection that you get with people.
And I mean, as a search engine, people are using it all the time for everything now.
Sure,
So, I
sure.
mean, you're going to show up somewhere. What would you suggest for someone who's thinking, it's getting close to retirement time, but maybe I do need to have some extra money. How can they get themselves into, maybe not 50 hours a week like you're doing, but something? What do you suggest that they do to just sort of ease themselves into doing something for themselves?
Sure. Well, and really, it can be the easiest thing in the world because you don't have to approach it as a job, as something where you have to perform, have to make money on, and that's some of the best side hustles, I guess. I don't want to call it hustle because it can be a side hobby, really. But you know what you enjoy doing. Find out what you enjoy doing, and I can guarantee you can make money doing that. If you love underwater horseback riding, there are videos on YouTube about that. They might not get millions of views, but they do get views, and you can make money. Writing a book or doing a course on that. I'm sure a course would be great because I imagine that would be fairly difficult to do. Uh, but yeah, you can start a YouTube channel. It doesn't take a lot of fancy equipment. In fact, everybody right now has in their pocket a little miniature recording studio. Um, and just get started. Started as a hobby, started as something with no pressure to make money, and you'll build up that community around yourself, around your personality, and eventually you will start making that money. And yeah, it doesn't have to be professional. What I tell people is kind of look around YouTube, look at do a search for the videos in that niche, in that topic, and see what works. See what works as far as topics, video ideas, that kind of thing. Outline 5 videos. Outline basically what you want to say, write it down, kind of thing, and then just jump in front of the camera. Don't worry about ums and ahs. Don't worry about editing. Just jump in front of the camera for each of those 5 videos. Make 5 to 10 minutes long or so, and just upload them. Don't even worry. There's eventually you'll want to start editing your videos. You'll want to start including graphics, everything. But I see so many people want to get started and then spend weeks, months even analyzing every single video, every single word, and they never get started. They quit in that frustration of analysis paralysis, right? And they never get started. And so what I say is, yeah, just put those 5 videos out there. They're going to be horrible, but everybody's first 5 videos are horrible. My first 100 videos, I think, was probably horrible. But you build that momentum, you get started, and you learn as you go.
Great. Thank you. That's good advice, I think. And most people worry about that. They don't want to get started, and they record something and they look back at it and go, God, I can't put that out to everybody.
Well, and the irony is that the funny thing is that if you do stick with it and you do keep on creating videos, then that's going to happen. It's going to happen every single year. I know guys that have been doing this for 10 years, myself, almost about 3.5 years. And you look back every year, you look back on the year previous videos, and you kind of shudder because if you're doing it right, if you're learning from each video and doing that 1% better each video, then over a year that adds up. And you'll look back on last year's videos and you go, wow, that's amazing what I've learned and how much better the videos are now.
And it makes you more real to the people who are watching you, which is really important, I think, especially for the Joe on the street who's trying to start out. That you look at all the polished things and figure, well, I can never do that. But if you look at someone who started out, then you can see that everybody starts at the same spot.
Sure. And it's an important part of YouTube. I mean, a part of YouTube that I think is underestimated and underappreciated is those raw, personality filled videos where, they're not relying on a bunch of graphics or fancy production value or anything like that. It's just somebody talking to that other person on the other side of the screen. That's what people want most. That's what people connect with. And those are the channels that really do best on YouTube.
So you've got a YouTube channel, you've got Instagram. I know you're big on Instagram, and you've got a website. You've got a website about work from home. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Sure. Well, I've still got the 3 blogs that I run. I had them up to 5 at one point, sold off a couple or 2, but now I've still got the 3 blogs. The workfromhomemoney.com or myworkfromhomemoney.com is the one that kind of covers, shares my journey from, online entrepreneur and growing those different income sources. So definitely check that out. I've obviously, as I've grown in my, in my online assets and as an online entrepreneur, that blog kind of shifts with me. So I think, it started out I actually started that one in 2015. And, it started out very blog heavy, very self-publishing heavy, because, that's really where I started, was making money on the blogs, self-publishing, which is an amazing, excellent income source that I recommend everyone start. Whether you're blogging or making videos on YouTube, you're already creating that content, and it takes very little to transform that, to reformat that into a book to self-publish on Amazon. And it's a great immediate income source that anyone can start. But yeah, the blog started like that, and has lately transitioned into a lot of the YouTube ideas and how to grow on YouTube and how to be successful there.
So do you need a lot of ideas to be content? Like how do you decide what you're going to put out, and what to talk about, things like that? I know people are worried, they'll think, oh, I've got nothing to say.
Sure. Well, I mean, I think you start off, and what I suggest is you start off with what works, right? Especially with something like YouTube, but it works on for blogs as well. If you just go to other blogs in your niche, in your topic, but it's very easily done on YouTube. You do a search for those keywords or those ideas in your niche, in your topic, and through a few searches, you're going to see the same channels come up, right? You're going to see successful channels in your niche, in your topic, and they're just going to appear regularly in those search results, because those are the people that have mastered that topic. Then you're going to go to their videos, so within their channel, their videos, and sort by most popular. And what you do, if you find 5-6 video channels like that, you write down maybe their top 10 most popular videos, right? They write down the titles, and generally the title is gonna give you an idea of what that video is about, right? The keywords or the topics, and you're gonna see similarities. You're gonna see, 3 out of those 6 channels within their top 10 videos all are talking about one specific keyword or one specific idea. Those just happen to be, ideas or topics or themes within that niche, within that channel type, that just happen to do well on any channel. Doesn't matter what, right? So you're going to build up a list of that. Build up a list of 5 or 10 video ideas that are going to work on your channel. They're going to work on any channel within that niche, right? And start with that. Start with the crowd pleasers, right? And you do 5 or 10 of those, and you're going to get a few that are going to do really well, going to start that momentum for you. And then, and from there, you're going to be, one of the best things about this is, even if you're starting from scratch with no knowledge in something, let's say you've never ridden a horse underwater, you've never ridden a horse anyway, right? Let alone underwater, but you want to learn, you have that passion for the idea. You can start from zero, and take people on that journey of you learning and them learning with you. And you're going to become an expert. Anytime you do something 10 hours a week, you're going to be an expert at it very quickly, actually. And people appreciate that journey from zero to expert, and you taking them with you. So you're going to get those ideas in your head. You just pull from your own questions. You'll be able to pull from the questions that people ask you in your video comments, things like that. So rarely do you actually, after you get started, rarely do you have a loss for ideas. It's always a matter of just kind of keeping in touch with what other people are writing about, talking about, and searching for.
That's it. Great, thank you. I think it's also, once you're talking about something that you're interested in, then the questions come, and you can talk about those questions too. I mean, sure. It's, when it's something that you're happy with and comfortable with and interested in, that's what sure. shows, I think.
Sure. And it's cliche, but you do have to start with that kind of that passion or that interest, because this is something that often it's going to take 3 to 6 months to really start making any money. The exception to that again would be if you do start self-publishing some of your content, then that's going to cash flow pretty immediately. And that's why I tell a lot of people to use those different income sources, the ones that start immediately, and then the ones you have to build over time. But it does, if you're going to, even 10 hours a week, even a modest 10 hours a week, you better like talking about it. Otherwise it's going to get old very quickly.
And people are going to know that you're not interested.
Sure.
They're not going to be interested in you if you're not interested in what you're talking about. Oh, that's great. So if someone wanted to get in touch with you, what's the best way for them to do that?
Sure. Well, I'd love to have people join me in the community on Let's Talk Money. That's the YouTube channel. So just go to YouTube and go to Let's Talk Money, or if you can leave a link there in the show notes.
Yep, I will.
If you're interested in investing, making your money work for you, that's what we generally talk about. I do cover some other making money online and making money videos as well. If you are interested in hearing more about my journey and in making money online and that those online assets and growing those, then myworkfromhomemoney.com would probably be the blog for you. I've also got an investing blog called mystockmarketbasics.com and a personal finance blog, Pure Finance 101. So lots of places to find me, but I love connecting with people there on the YouTube channel.
Perfect. I'll make sure that all of those go in the show notes so that everybody can find you. I just want to make sure it was out there in case someone's just listening and they want to, jump in. Thanks very much, Joseph. It's really been great chatting with you. Do you have any final little words of wisdom you'd like to share? If not, that's okay.
Words of wisdom. That's one question that I usually disappoint, and I think it's on the wisdom part of it. No, just get started. Just get started doing something that you enjoy and feeling that kind of control and that basically that feeling of passion for what you're doing. And again, it doesn't have to be something you're planning on making millions of dollars from. Just get started in something that you enjoy doing, learn how to make money off of it, and you will do that.
Perfect. Thanks very much for being here.
Thanks, Jackie.
And that's it for this episode of Beyond Retirement. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope you enjoyed it. Are you ready to start rocking your retirement? Head on over to www.beyondretirement.ca/rocking it and sign up to plan out your own roadmap for retirement. Don't wait till it's too late.